Hello, this is Amarjot Singh. I hope you can hear me well. I'm in Pune, as you know. I'm at Apex Consultant. You can see the background Apex, information. I'm with a lot of staff here, processing staff in Apex here. They are looking to ask me some questions about immigration and processing and different categories, latest updates in Canada. And I have Deepthi here with me, who will gather questions from different people here. And also, you are welcome to type in. I see 2 people have already joined in. Guys, if you want to ask me a question, this is a good time. My name is Amarjot. I'm from Canada. I live in Edmonton. Right now, the temperature there is minus 15 or 20. It's very hot, not like Pune. I'm enjoying my weather here. And I'm here to talk to different people about anything that you want to ask. Anything with the Canada immigration, like express entry, study visa, work visa, LMIA, work permit, PR cases, citizenship, family sponsorship. If you got a marriage from Canadian citizen, if you want to go to marriage through family sponsorship, even those, and anything. Who's this? Anikia Sayed Atif joined in. Hello, how are you? Irfan Kadri joined in. Welcome, guys. You can ask me any question. I've got some people here, and so this is the time you can start asking the question, and I will answer the question here so that you can listen in. And if you want to ask any question to me, you can just type in. We can see, and Deepthi will read it to me, and then I will give you my answer, whatever I know. Sometimes I don't know the answer, surprisingly. I'm not an encyclopedia, but if I don't know the answer, I will find out the answer. I'll let you know maybe tomorrow or so. And we will possibly do this tomorrow as well. All right, so guys, let's hear your questions. What are your questions? You have any questions? Kayur Patwardhan. Hello, sir. Any analytics career opportunities in Canada? Kayur Patwardhan, I don't know what you mean by analytics career opportunity. Analytics is what kind of analytics? Is it science or business analytics? We don't know. It does not matter what career you choose in Canada. First, you have to apply for express entry PR, and then become a PR, and then you can choose any career. Whatever the career opportunities exist in that profession, you will later find out from there. By the way, once you get the PR, once you're qualified for the PR, the Canadian High Commission in New Delhi will send you an email starting you to prepare for future licensing in whatever opportunity. So that's a good time so that you can get connected with them. I hope that answers your question, Kayur Patwardhan. Swapnil Gere also joined in. If you have any question, you can ask question. Guys, if you have a question, I have a lot of people sitting here in my room here, and if you have any question, Deepthi, let me know. If I have any question, I can answer some questions.
Okay, are there any do's and don'ts after receiving the COPR in terms of, like, say suppose if I receive the COPR and I go in for renewing my passport, so will that cause a problem or anything as such that I shouldn't be doing?
Yeah, let me repeat this question for people on the Facebook who are listening in. Maybe they did not listen to this question. So one of the colleagues is asking questions about what are the do's and don'ts after you get the confirmation of PR, which is a small paper which like shows that you got the PR visa. Once you got the landing paper, it's called a landing paper, by the way, right? Once you get the landing paper, you go to Canada and you get landed. You get a stamp on your passport by the immigration, and then you get a PR card within a month. The only do's and don'ts, there's no don'ts here. I mean, don'ts in the sense you don't do any crime, don't do any bad things, otherwise you'll be deported. The do's is, of course, you start a job, you start living and settling in. That's all it is. As far as the passport is concerned, if you have an Indian passport, you can renew your passport whenever the passport expires. That's all you can do. Either you can do it from the Indian embassy in Canada, or you can do it also from, if you are traveling back here, you can do it from here. But I do recommend everybody who's going on a immigrant visa, they must have ideally must have the passport valid for a few years, so that, because the PR card is issued for 5 years, and then you want that thing to continue till that time, because if you have to travel, it's a big hassle to keep renewing. And after right now, the rule is 3 years on the PR residence. You can apply for citizenship, which is Canadian citizenship. All right, so that's it. I've got a lot of people joining in. Ramanpreet Singh Sadrao. Hello, sir. My wife is in Canada from last month. Can I apply for dependent? Yes, Ramanpreet Singh Sadrao. I don't know where you're from. Are you in Pune? If you are, then you can come. Yes, if your wife is in Canada on a study visa, or what visa? We don't know. Raman, please, if your wife is on a study visa or a work visa, she can apply for you as a dependent visa. You will get an open work permit directly from New Delhi High Commission. So it's very good. Yogini Patekar, Sanjeev Kumar Rai, Ismail Kadri, Jayaprakash Joe Mehta, JB Mehta, Marisha Heather, Raj Bhaktana. How soon can we move out of province after getting PNP? Raj Bhaktana, that's a very diplomatic question. You are asking me how to move out from a province once you've got the nominee. It's not a good idea to move out because, you know, even though the law does not forbid you, but, you know, if the province comes to know before you get the PR that you are looking to move out, they will not give you the PR. So otherwise, there's no law. In a skill class, you can move out the next day, but in entrepreneur class, normally there's a condition of 2 years. All right. So I hope that answers the question. Munir Vashu, Vadusira, Anirudh Salvi join. A lot of people are joining. 57 people are watching this live, guys. If you want to ask any question, you can call the toll-free number which is listed. I see toll-free number. What's the toll-free number? Can I get the toll-free number? 1-800. You can call the 1-800 number here. Maybe perhaps we can take the live call here, or you can type the question here and then we can do it. Simply any question. Yes. Yes.
Sir, I'm an equipment operator. I'm working in Iraq and Afghanistan for 7 years. Can I get the job in Canada?
Yes, you can get the job in Canada. What's the difference whether you're in Saudi Arabia or Egypt or something? You need to get a job offer and an LMIA. Most likely, he's a technician. It will come under federal skilled trade class for which you need a minimum English requirement, which is CLB5, I think. And you need a job offer, or he can go to Canada and on a different visa, a work visa, or a study visa, and get certified as a journeyman. Then you don't need a job offer. So even more or less practically, he needs a job offer, without which he cannot qualify for under CEC and the experience, like express entry. A lot of people joining in. Mirza Kamran Beg. A lot of people are typing so fast. I can't read so fast. Can you read one of those questions? Sweta Balaji, Mirza Kamran Beg. Any other question, Deeply? What other questions are we taking today? Guys, you can also. What is the phone number that they can dial in? Is there a phone number that we can dial in here? Can you just repeat the phone number? 020. The phone number is 020. I'm going to type this number here. Let's see. I can type 020 6741 0177. So guys, I've just typed this number on the screen, so you can call this number. This is the number in Pune headquarters here. Perhaps we can take the call live and get you on the live show. Rahul Chadha, overall CLB9, you can get an ITA from federal government. Rahul Chadha, what do you mean? Just because you have a good English doesn't mean that you'll get an ITA. I mean, you need to have points in other things also. Just English is not the only one. Gaurav Sharda, are we going to Canada? I don't know what you mean. Gaurav Sharda has given his number to me. Do you want Gaurav Sharda to call you? I mean, I don't have time right now to call anybody. You can call this number and we can take questions. Any questions? Yes, go ahead.
Can Indian passport holder apply for open work permit?
I'm sorry, just one more time. Say it again.
Can Indian passport holder apply directly on open work permit?
Of course, why not? Why not? Look, the question is how can somebody apply for open work permit? Open work permit is of many different kinds. I will just give you 2-3 examples, and that way you will come to know. If let's say if your spouse is in Canada on a work visa, then you can get the open work permit. If your wife is on a study visa, then you can get open work permit. And there are other categories also. So yes, you can get the open work permit in different categories, but there are at least about 20-25 different categories and codes and codes on the section. So I don't want to go too much now, but yes, you can apply for open work permit. Pooja Walia. Pooja, can you read the question from Pooja Walia? What did you say, Pooja Walia? That's it. She was typing too fast, actually. I could not get... this is my question, Gaurav Sharda. I think I answer your question. I just answered your question, and we are having some calls. Let's see what calls we can get. Perhaps we can get them on speakerphone, maybe. Guys, we are trying to manage this technology here because this is the first time we're doing here. So there might be little quirks here and there, but we're trying to answer as many questions as possible. A lot of people also ask me in India that they have a lot of money. I mean, if you have 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore, I don't know how much money you have. based on the money, based on the investment, can we go to Canada? Yes. If you have money to invest, maybe you can buy a business in Canada in different provinces like Saskatchewan, BC, Manitoba, Nova Scotia, anywhere, and then you can set up a business, apply for PNP under entrepreneur class. Under a separate category called an investor class, which is open in Quebec right now, if you invest a certain amount of money for 5 years, and then you can get the PR. So yes, money can buy immigration, if that's what you want to know. You may not have education, you may not have high English, but if you have a lot of money, you can literally buy immigration in Canada, all right? So this is something to think about. How much money? Typically, you need to have 3 to 4 crores, all right? Less than that is not going to materialize. Yes, Deepti, we have any question?
From Gunjan Gupta.
Yes.
I am at the post ITA stage. Will I need to submit birth certificate anywhere in the process because I don't have one?
Gunjan Gupta, that's a very good question. The birth certificate is a part of the mandatory checklist of the documents when you apply under express entry. Perhaps you may have submitted your 10 grade or 10+2 or some other alternative means of birth certificate. Whatever birth certificate that you have mentioned earlier, that is what it will continue. I'm hoping that you had not, changed some rectification or something else on the birth certificate. If you have the birth certificate, that's that will continue. If you didn't have one, it will be required. Just look at the mandatory checklist on the express entry documents, and you will see birth certificate mentioned. So I hope that answers your question. And we got many good. Nilesh Diwali, I'm IT background. I've spent 10 years working visa family. Yes, Nilesh Diwali, your IELTS is mandatory. You need the IELTS every express entry. Gurpreet Kaur, I've got overall 6 man in listening 5 and I'm eligible. No, Gurpreet Kaur, you got to increase. Yeah, go up a little high. 5.5 is not good enough. Go to 6. All right, that's what we need. And go ahead.
The next question is, an applicant would be traveling to Toronto in Jan.
Okay.
And as he would be, like, he wants to remotely work in Canada for an Indian company. As he loves PR, can he work in Canada for an Indian company?
I'm sorry, did you say that he has PR or he does not have PR?
He has a PR and he would be traveling in the month of Jan to Toronto.
Well, if he has a PR, then he can work for anybody he likes, whether it's a Canadian company or any company. It does not matter whether he's actually in Canada or not. So if he has a PR, that takes away all the restriction, takes away all the conditions. So I think the question is, if somebody asks me, somebody in India who's traveling to Canada, he does not have a PR, and if he has a job, maybe online, offshore job or something, can he do the job while he's on a tourist visa in Canada? So that's something, yes, he can do anything as long as he doesn't get paid from Canada. He can do any job he wants, no matter whether it's an Indian company or whatever. We might be running out of battery. You might just plug in with the battery actually with this. Any more questions?
Next question
Yes.
is from Sheryl Ahmed.
Yes.
Hi, could you please explain about British Columbia Tech Pilot PNP, which is going to open on 18th December?
Yes. So this is a fairly recent introduction by the BCPNP. So this is only for people who have a high-tech job offer from an employer. So if they nominate you, based on, they have a list of some occupation like software and aeronautical engineering and space engineering and those kind of things, but they are very high level. It's not for everybody. So if you have a high-tech job offer from a designated employer, they will be able to apply for nomination. It's not going to happen for everybody, only for select people. So I hope that answers the question. But for what occupations, you can go to the BCPNP, the thing, and then take a look at the list of occupation and go from there. All right. So Gurpreet Kaur is saying, I've got overall band, listening band eligible for KNDP. Gurpreet Kaur, you need 6 each in each one of them: reading, speaking, listening, writing. All right. So otherwise it's not going to matter. You need minimum 6 each. All right, so have any question? Let me just take care of the battery. I think the battery will run out. It's still not working. We don't want to lose out on the battery. So I'm taking all questions. You can ask the questions. You can call that number which I just typed, and now I think the battery is working. So Deepti, any more questions people are typing? Tell me what the questions are. Yes.
Will an academic IELTS work for applying for PR, or should I redo the general test?
Well, what do you think is the answer?
General test.
Yes, good. So academic IELTS is not accepted for express entry. It's only general. So academic is for study visa, right? Study something. So generally, you know, people try. I mean, these guys are making a lot of money, and the British Council and stuff. They say, you know, first you were applying for study visa, so you spend money on academic. Now forget, you don't get study visa. Apply for general now, and then, you know, that's how they're making too much money. But hey, that's what it is. What can I say? Who else is asking question? Munir Vadasaria is saying, thank you very much for your live session. Munir, thank you very much. You're welcome. If you have any question, go and tell your friends I'm here in Pune. If they want to come and meet me for 1 or 2 days, can. Himani Doshi is saying my CRS is 419. What's the possibility of getting? No, Himani Doshi, 419 is not the right one, right? The cutoff is around 441, 439 something. It's very high. It's like, can you imagine, like, you know, a lot of people here in India, they apply for UPSC examination, trying to become an IAS officer, and say, hey, how come I did not become an IAS? My score was right here. So to become an IAS, we got to go very high, right? Then only get a job. Same thing here. It's a merit-based system. Unless you have the minimum cutoff points, you will not get the invitation, and that's the reality. 77 people are watching this show. Guys, if you have more questions, keep them coming.
There is a question
Yes,
from
please.
Aman Thakur.
Yes.
What all university is registered with WES? How would I check without applying for PR whether my university is registered with WES?
That's a wonderful question. Let me just repeat this question for people who are listening. Somebody is asking me what universities are registered with WES for the ECA, and how do we check whether some universities, which I have done, of course, like, you know, there's a university called Sikkim Manipal University, right? So many people know that SMU is not recognized, and there could be some other private universities. Guys, the answer is very clear. I'm not a university expert, and neither do I work for WES. WES is an independent company based in Toronto, and they do their own thing. If you are unsure about the level and the standard of a university, I recommend that you send them an email directly first in advance before you doing the online profile. Ask them, and they will send an answer back to you, and then you'll come to know. If you still cannot get the answer, you can contact me. I have a special email for them, and I can send them a message, and I can find out for you if it's recognized or not. But I think you should try to do this on your own first. So that's a good idea, because they're charging a lot of money for evaluation, and it's better to know before you do that. All right. Any more questions, Dipti?
There's a question from Dipanjali. What is the process of getting a LMI approved job offer from Canada?
This is $1 million question: how to get a job offer and how to get it approved job offer, because a lot of people and a lot of agents and other on internet and other so-called consultants are offering jobs and for money and charging 20,000, 30,000, and who knows how much money. You know, the job offer is a job offer when it's a real job offer. For example, if I am in Canada, if I'm in Pune now, if I ask somebody in Pune, can you give me a job? How can I get a job by just asking a middle person or a broker? I have to attend a job interview. I have to sell my skills, and the employer has to like me. Only then they can offer me a job. Similarly, in Canada, if you are looking for a job, you know, all you have to do is search for these companies either on Google or on Monster or Indeed.ca or wherever they are. Apply for those jobs. Wait till you hear from them. Apply for the interview, and then get a job. Once they give you an offer, then they apply for something called a LMIA. LMIA is a labor market impact assessment. LMIA ascertains that none of the Canadians are open to taking this job, and the job has to be offered to you. And then you can either get a work permit, or you can also ask them to support your PR application based on the work permit also. So either way, you get 50 to 200 points, and then you can do the challenge is to find the job, to find the employer, and then the second challenge is to do the LMIA. LMIA typically takes 4 to 5 months. It's not a very 1 day or 1 week process. The government is charging right now $1,000 fees for LMIA. It's non-refundable. Whether yes or no, they will charge the money, and the employer has to advertise the job, and then that's how it is decided. It's not guaranteed that all LMIs will be approved. Some will be, some all will not be. All right. So I hope you understand. Who else is asking question? Yes.
We got one question online. It says her passport is renewed after she received her COPR.
Okay.
Now, should she carry both the passports or update or surrender her current passport?
She's an Indian citizen, and so the passport does not have to be surrendered. When she travels to India, she just carries her recent passport. The old passport does not have to be carried and shown to anybody here. So that's all. The passport does not have to be surrendered. All she does is just keep maintaining the passport.
Because her old passport was stamped.
Yeah.
So she's got another
Well-
one renewed which is not stamped.
She hasn't entered yet.
Well, what about the PR card? She has a PR card?
No, she's traveling now.
She's traveling now.
She's asking for the first time when I'm traveling.
Correct.
Should I carry both the passports?
Yes. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Yes, she should carry both. Yeah. For now, she should carry the both. Yes. Who else is there? A lot of people are asking questions. Karthikeyan, Balash. Wow, I think that's.
There's a question from
yes.
Vijendra Singh Solanki.
Yes.
With age factor 35, max IELTS is taking me to 398.
Yes.
What could be option in case to migrate?
Well, there are only one or two ways to increase the CRS score. One is to increase your IELTS language score. All right. So I hope you can improve your English score and can go up. The second is to get a job offer. Nothing that I can do for you here. The third is to have brothers or sisters who are in Canada who are real Canadian citizens, which I cannot help you there as well. The fourth way, which I do recommend many people to do, is to start. If you have some additional language proficiency in French, and if you can take the TEF score, you can get at least 15 more points, depending on what level you get, 15 to 30 points, and that's the only way you can jump around. Unfortunately, there's no other way. Some people who are not unmarried, I always tell them, find a husband or find a wife who has good English or who has good education. Good education, maybe when find a wife who has a master's degree instead of bachelor's and keep going, maybe PhD, who knows. So that's all it is. There's nothing much I can do here. All right, I hope that answers your question.
The next question
Yes.
is from Amit Gupta.
Yes.
For civil technocrat or technician, which state PNP approval is easy to get in Canada? Thanks.
This is not an easy question for me, because most of the provincial programs in Canada, once they are open for foreign applicants, like people who do not have a job offer, people who are not already working there or not a student there, they open and close very rapidly. Possibly they will close within few hours. So there's no way that I can predict that whether, even if you had all this documents, everything ready, that you will be able to get it. All I hope is that you keep your documents ready and apply as and when the window opens. As far as the technology is concerned, I think you are a civil engineering technologist. All provinces are okay, except something on the Maritimes, which is Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island. Those does not have any construction technology. On the West Coast side, maybe BC or Alberta, just where I am. I think that might be a better one for civil engineers. All right, Dhruvit Patel. So my wife is study permit. Can I apply for the? Yes, Dhruvit Patel. I talked about this question earlier. If the wife is in Canada on a work permit or a study permit, then the husband can also go and live with the wife on an open work permit. So that's the thing. Dhruvit Patel, if you are in Pune or if you're nearby, if you want to do this application, come and see me, and then we can do this application. The processing time is close to about 2.5 and 3 months, but the Canadian High Commission in New Delhi will issue you a work permit, and then you can go and live with your wife. I hope that will make you happy. Yes, what other questions?
The next question is from Gunjan Jain. Me and my wife went to Canada. She is the primary one. What if we took divorce there? So what more documents would be required as a secondary person?
Let me just understand this question. So husband and wife go together on what visa?
Yeah.
Go on a PR, and then they will file divorce in Canada.
Yes. What if we took divorce there?
Well, they can get divorced anywhere in the world. Does not matter. But my question is, have they got the PR visa already? They are still thinking of. They already got the PR. PR has been stamped. Means the visa has been stamped already. They can. The risk in getting a divorce in India is maybe the points have been collaborated by husband and wife. So if they divorce now, I think they will lose the eligibility. Maybe the principal applicant will no longer be eligible. So once they land in Canada, so perhaps they will lose the right. So I think they're using the brain to, maybe utilize the points from the husband and wife and then go to Canada and then divorce there. What I recommend is that if you are trying to get divorced, you have to wait for a few months before you divorce, because if you divorce next month or so, I think it's not a good idea, because the government will say, hey, I think, were you thinking of divorce just yesterday, or you were planning for divorce, or you were fighting for several years, you just came together for points. So it's a little dangerous step though, but just stick around for maybe a few months and then keep tolerating each other for some time. Yes.
The next question is from Dipanjali Mian. If primary applicant dies immediately after filing his or her visa filing, will visa still be granted to his or her family?
No, if this is an express entry and the principal applicant is dead, then the application is gone. Then the whole application is gone. So that's the meaning of the principal applicant. Amit Gupta is typing us a question. My wife is a MSc nursing, having clinical experience for 4 years. IELTS score 5, and please ways she can present Nigeria second wave applicant. Amit Gupta, you need to contact the Apex here and then get your points, and then you can apply for CRS, right? So we have to find out your points and then see if you can qualify under express entry. So you have a good background though. Both of you have a good background. All right. What are the questions we have, guys? Have any questions here?
We've got one more question online.
Yes.
They said that he has appeared for his IELTS from British Council. He's got a hearing disability. And
Hearing disability.
Yes.
Okay.
And they have awarded his listening and speaking exam. Based on his writing and reading, the average points were given to his listening and speaking. The results are yet not out, but will this affect his application?
No. If the British Council has adjusted based on his disability, whatever points they have given, if it is meeting the cutoff, then immigration has no problem. The immigration has no problem at all.
There's one more question that we received. The
Yes.
husband is already in Canada.
Okay.
The wife here is separately applying for her PR.
Okay, that's a very important question. Let me just repeat this question on Facebook so that people can listen. So the husband is already in Canada. The wife is in India. Wife is thinking of applying for PR directly as an independent.
She is already applied.
She's
waiting for her decision.
Okay.
Meanwhile, she also applied for a visitor visa, which got cancelled.
Okay.
Or which got
Rejected.
Yeah.
So that's fine. So I think the husband is there on a study visa or a work visa, perhaps.
No, he's on a permanent resident visa.
He is a PR visa.
Yes.
Okay. So the husband must have done a sponsorship as a family sponsorship.
His application was separate. He's already there, a PR holder. Her application is separate. She's separately applying as a PR for a PR application.
Yeah, this is a wrong application, by the way. So let me just repeat this. I think this is a very bizarre condition. So the husband is there in Canada already as a PR. The wife has applied for PR separately, independently. I think perhaps on express entry, right?
Yeah.
The right application is for the husband to apply for wife as a family sponsor under family sponsorship. That means based on the marriage certificate. So he can sponsor the wife to come there. The wife does not have to go to express entry, because express entry has a long exhaustive requirements on points, English and other things. Based on the family sponsorship, based on the marriage certificate, the wife will get the PR directly without even English and other things. So that's what the right application. And I'm wondering, why did the wife apply independently on their own? There must be some story behind it. If you are listening to me, I think you should come and talk to me, and then I need to understand why is that happening. All right. So you can always call back and meet me. More questions, Deepti?
I have one more question. That
Yeah.
Once I receive a PR, after how much time I can work legally in US?
That's a wonderful question. So after getting PR, if I become a PR of Canada, after how much time I can work in US? Look, to work in US, I'm hoping that what is a profession? Maybe he's an engineer or something, which we don't know. To work in US, you need a work permit, like a H-1B visa or NAFTA or something else. For H-1B, you can apply directly on an Indian passport, but if you just has a PR card and with the Indian passport, you will not be able to work immediately. Under NAFTA occupation, there are certain professions which are professional, like engineers, accountants, and so forth. And as soon as you have a Canadian passport, you can directly work on a NAFTA visa, but there's no labor certification, nothing needed. So they just charge you $50, and as soon as you have a job offer, you can work instantly, right? So the short answer is, as soon as you become the Canadian citizen with a Canadian passport, you can start working in the professional occupations in US same day. I hope that answers the question who asked. Yes.
We got a call again from the person who had said that my husband is the PR millionaire.
Okay, is she listening to this? Is she listening? Okay, good.
She said my application was a family sponsorship.
Oh, good, good.
But meanwhile, she applied for a visitor visa, which got rejected. So is this going to affect her family sponsorship?
No. So what is the name of the person? What is the name of the person who? Okay. So whoever is listening to this question, we were talking about the wife applying separately from the husband's PR. So this is a family sponsorship. That means the husband is sponsoring the wife, and you know, the Canadian High Commission, wherever the job interview is, they will call you for an interview. There will be an interview about your marriage, and then they will decide. You should not have applied for visitor visa, because the visitor visa should not be given, and as you see, it is refused. But it will have no effect on your PR application to sponsorship. So I just want to let you know it will have no effect. All right. Thank you very much. I hope that satisfies your question. Who else is asking any question?
One more thing.
Yes.
In her application, she was earlier divorced.
Okay.
She got married again.
Okay.
And she not informed the department earlier that she was divorced. Later on, while giving her application, she had mentioned, or like later on, she just gave a certificate stating that earlier I was divorced.
Okay.
So will this cause like a miscommunication?
Okay. So guys, in all immigration application, it is very important that every applicant be truthful. If you are divorced, you should tell them the divorce. If you're not, you should tell them otherwise. As long as you have disclosed everything, there should not be a problem. But if you did not disclose everything, it will cause misrepresentation, and that will affect your file. So if you have disclosed everything truthfully before they actually, alleging that you hid something, that should be okay for now. All right, I've got a lot of people. Ankeya Saeed Lati Hasuna PR card once landed in Canada. You can go to, you already have a PR card. Ankeya, I don't know why you're asking this question. So you landed there. That's why you got the PR card. I mean, I think you're talking about the immigrant visa. That's what. Karthikeyan Bhaskaran finished BA English in Tamil Nadu Open University, is recognized by Tamil Nadu government UGC. Karthikeyan, I do not know. You have to contact the WYES. I think it probably is, but you should send an email to WYES. I think they will tell you. So I'm not I don't have a list of all the universities in the world. I mean, can you believe China has 3,000 universities? I mean, I know all the universities. I don't know about all the universities. You need to contact them and find out. All right. So most likely it is. Looks like it's a good Tamil Nadu Open University, just like Indira Gandhi Open University or something, right? Maybe. Dharmesh Deshani. So what is the difference between PR and citizen of Canada? Oh my God, Dharmesh Deshani, you're asking me. A PR card holder is just a resident who can live there, but you have to comply with the residency obligation. That means you have to live there for a certain time. But a citizen can be a citizen, and he doesn't have to. He can travel up and down. He can do a lot of things. The second difference is citizen can vote. If there's an election in Canada, citizen can make a vote, a PR cannot. So those are the two differences. There are others, but I think for now this is enough for you. Deepanjali, Mia is mandatory for the person to continue a job in nursing. No, Deepanjali, no, you don't have to continue. You can work in any job. I've known examples in Canada where some doctors who had got immigration from India, but they were doctors here for 5-10 years. But now they say, forget about doctor, I'm bored with doctor, I'm doing something else. Now they are, they are driving truck, or they are transportation business, or, they are making money in farming something. So no, even though you have got the PR under express entry as a doctor, and maybe your wife is a nurse, something, once you go to Canada, no, you can do anything you want. It's not mandatory, all right? So hope that answers your question. Yes, sir, you had a question, what? Yes. Yeah. You can sponsor your family. When you say family, means wife and children is family. Yes, of course you can. You can. Yes. So anybody. Let me just repeat this. Anybody who is a PR or a citizen, they can sponsor their family. The definition of family is your spouse and children less than 22, not like 25 years old son, like they're 22 and less. So that's called dependent, single, unmarried, less than 22. Yes, more questions.
The next question is from BC itself.
Yes.
A couple, and they are already divorced, and both of them are having a child from their previous partner.
Yes.
Okay. Now the husband, who is a dependent, he does not have any communication with his daughter, and the daughter is with the wife.
In the custody of the wife.
Yeah.
Custody. Okay.
Not on papers, but yes.
Okay.
With the wife. So should he include him in? Should he include her in the application?
What do you think is the answer?
Actually, he does not have any communication or any documents of the child.
Yeah, but your question is, should we include them on the application or not? So that if you look at the form, which is IMM 0008 form, if you go to second or third page, there they will ask you sections on dependents, and they will also ask you whether they are accompanying or non-accompanying. Do you remember this? It says accompanying or non-accompanying. That means maybe I was previously married and I have a child from my previous marriage, but hey, I don't like my previous wife, ex-wife, and I don't like my child. So even though I don't intend that child to accompany me to Canada on a PR, but I still have to mention them on the file, on the form, as non-accompanying. Because if you don't do that, there could be a problem, because I could be charged under misrepresentation. There's another technical problem, because can you imagine, I'm on my second marriage now. What happens if my second marriage dissolves, and now I go back to my first wife, and I say, hey, let's get back together, and then remarry, and then what? And then what happened to that child from there? So if the child and that family member is declared on that form, even though as a non-accompanying, it's okay. That is fine, and we have to mention. But we can say that that child is not going for now.
But if there are no documents available.
What do you mean documents available?
Non-accompanying.
We don't need any documents. Any documents is not needed to prove that they are non-accompanying. If I don't want them to go with me, that's enough.
The file was returned back, saying that you have to make her accompany.
No, they cannot force it. I don't think we have to look at the case, the letter itself. No, Canadian government cannot force me to take my child with me. There's no way they can force me. It's unheard of. There could be something else. I mean, there could be something else, because by mistake they would have said something. But we have to see this on a case-by-case basis. But if I don't like my previous, married child not to accompany me, I mean, that's what my choice is. I can do that. Jasmeet Singh is joining. Can you say some good website is genuine for job seekers? Jasmeet Singh, anything. I mean, I don't know anything. Just go and search on Google, brother. Google is the best website. All right. Karthikeyan Balasubra, Bhaskar, answer any age factor. Yeah, age factors has the points, right? So it's factor points. Rajesh Panikar, Canada PR in 1 year, have to stay there. Yes, you must stay there. Once you get the PR of Canada, you must to continue holding that residence. You have to stay there for a minimum of 2 years on every 5. So my PR card is valid for 5 years. So in that 5 year, I must stay in Canada for minimum 2 years. If I don't, then I lose the PR. I hope you understand. Yogesh Shurevans can apply for job in Canada. Yes, you can. Ashwajit Kharat is especially after PR. Yes, there's a licensing requirement, Ashwajit. You can check up the Canadian Medical Council. They will tell you. Rohit Parande, can we sponsor parents? So yes, Rohit, you can sponsor parents on PR. Vicky Ghosh, there are so many questions here. Gosh, tell me which of the questions. AV immigration. The phone number is mentioned there, 674-1000, right? 40. So anybody who wants to ask any question live, my phones are right in front of me, and you can talk to me and then ask me a question. Don't be shy. Maninder Singh, who's Maninder Singh? Applied family Canada PR. Wife is pregnant and will deliver in February. Will it delay the process? Yes, Maninder Singh. So if the process is undergoing for Canadian PR, and if you've not got the visa yet, if you have a new child born maybe in February, then after the child is born, then you need to contact the processing center in Ottawa, or perhaps the New Delhi High Commission. Tell them, I have a new child with a new birth certificate, and there are new forms to be filled for the child. So it will delay a certain few months. That's okay. But the child will get the PR anyway, yes.
I am dentist and
Yes.
operating my own clinic.
Yes.
Can I apply under ICCRC?
Why not? Any self-employed like dentists, medical doctors, or physicians, or anybody. I've got questions from people in India who says I'm an astrologer. They are like a self-employed astrologer. They have their own shop of astrologer and say, can they apply? And say, why not? This is a profession. If you practice this profession, if you're self-employed, I think the mental roadblock that you have is that you are self-employed, whether that experience counts for express entry or not. And my answer is yes, it does. There's a different way of showing that experience to count, but yes, you can. No problem. We need dentists. Dentists make a lot of money in Canada, so you should apply though, all right? So dentist is good. Who else is asking question? Lalit Joshi is asking, sir, please reply my query. Lalit Joshi, what's your question? I forgot your question.
His question is,
Lalit Joshi.
he had applied for SINP
Yeah.
and he has got a mail from the integrity. He has submitted all the documents required for the integrity officer. Now this question is, can you contact them?
No, you cannot contact.
I wait for them.
No. If integrity is investigating you, or if they are thinking you have some fraud, or maybe some information is missing, or some double-edged information or something, you should not contact them. Let them do their own investigation, and they will contact you. I think you should stay away. Don't contact them yet. All right. So
The next question is from Swati. After landing in Canada, how soon a person get unemployed benefits?
Oh.
What is the percentage of that benefits?
before even going to Canada, you're planning for unemployment benefits. Look, the basic rule is to be able to get the unemployment benefit, you need to be employed there for at least 1 year, 12 months. And I'm forgetting now, maybe it's 50 weeks or 52 weeks. So close to, give or take 11 to 12 months, all right? So before that, because it's based on number of hours that you have worked full time. So only then you can take the EI benefits, but you should go to Service Canada website and check the unemployment. But if you are a PR right now, or you plan to PR, I think this is a very bad idea to start planning for unemployment right now. I think you should start, get to work before something happens. But one of the questions I think nobody asked me is, maybe I will tell it. Let's say you as a family get the PR, husband wife get the PR, and many people wonder. In India they don't do this. So husband and wife go to Canada, and the wife becomes pregnant after 1 year or 2 years. All right. So the wife becomes pregnant, and the wife was working for 1 year. According to Canadian provincial procedures, you get maternity benefit. That means the wife can stay at home and they will still get the money. That's fun. People ask me how much money. So based on how much you have worked, whatever your last salary is, you will get certain take-home percentage of the salary for 9 to 12 months. And you can stay at home and you will still get this money. So that's wonderful. I don't think it's available in India at present, but in Canada it's very common. All right. Yes.
My husband is the primary applicant for Canada. Can I study there once after landing?
Of course, you are a PR. You can study whatever, whether you dance or you do whatever. Who cares? You are a PR. You can do anything that you want.
Rahul Chadda.
Yes.
Is there a possibility of going there on a visitor visa and then live over there for long term?
That's a typical Indian planning that many people think that we should do. A lot of people ask me, can I get a visitor visa for 10 years, and once they go there for 6 months, and then can they convert into work permit? Don't you think people ask you this question? If I cannot get the work visa from here, how about I go to Canada on a visitor visa and do some Indian jugaad, and then talk to different people and pay money and get to LMIA and and do a lot of other things so that I don't have to come back here. I totally recommend against it. I don't want people to do this. Let me just give you 2-3 reasons why you should not do this. One of the things is this: once you apply for a visitor visa, you are telling the Canadian government that you are going there for a temporary visit. Maybe you are attending a marriage or a birthday party or something. All of a sudden, if you tell them that you've got a job, that goes against the notes in your immigration file that they see on the computer system. So if I'm applying for work visa later on, after 2 months or 3 months, the visa officers can see that just 2 months ago I was writing, maybe I have a good job in Pune and I'm just going there to birthday party, and all of a sudden I have a job offer. So whether that is right or whether this is right, we don't know. That's the problem number one. So you lose credibility as far as immigration is concerned. So the second problem is, for all jobs, you need a LMIA, and LMIA will take 4 to 6 months. If you get a 6 months stay, it is not enough for you to do the LMIA successfully, and then you may have to return to India. If you don't return to India, then you will go out of status. Then otherwise you have to extend the status, and that's another problem. The third problem is that your application will not be, sent for work permit to India. It will go to Los Angeles or New York for Canadian applicants, and then they may deny you there as well. All in all, it's a bad idea to apply for work permit on a visitor visa in Canada. If you are a visitor visa, once you get a job offer, I think I recommend that you come back to India, apply from here, and then go afresh as a proud work permit holder. Yes.
The next question is from Swapnil. Swapnil is an owner of a small computer maintenance shop. Can he apply under skilled worker visa?
Absolutely, which is the same question as self-employed. So he is running his own shop as a manager or technical director or whatever. So he can claim that job experience as a self-employed, and he can get those points in the experience as anybody else. So there's no difference. No problem. So
can I go as a pharmacist on the basis of B Pharma?
Yes. So B Pharma is a qualifying degree for becoming a pharmacist. So you check your points. You probably will get 22 points on the chart list, and you look at the points. No problem. You can go. But I think the pharmacy degree has to be evaluated separately. So that might be a little challenging here. But otherwise, you are eligible for the express entry.
Iman is asking.
Yes.
I want to know what is the possibility of getting an ITA with 419 points. 419.
I think we mentioned about this question earlier. So 419 is not a low score, but it's not very high enough. So I do not know when the score will come down, but I think just improve your English a little bit more. Maybe read up on some French, and that's all I can say. You got to go till 4:30, 4:34, 4:35. And that's how. But also Ontario nomination had a program by which I think they're closed now. Sometimes all of a sudden they open and they have a huge number of applications from India, and they're all done within a few days. They were nominating people with 400 plus who had software background or engineering background, or maybe they had some relatives in Ontario. Maybe they were francophone speaking French. So occasionally some provinces will come out on some programs, and you should be in the express entry profile, and who knows who will come up with program when, and then maybe you'll get the benefit.
Next question, Yogesh.
Yes.
I have non-technical education, but I fulfill the experience criteria.
Yes.
Can I apply for PR in Canada?
I'm sorry, I didn't follow the question. One more time, please.
I have non-technical education.
Non-technical education. Okay.
But I satisfy the experience criteria. Can I apply?
I don't think you will be able to satisfy the engineering criteria. Let me just ask you this. Let us say that I have BA honors in physics, or BA in mathematics, or BSc mathematics, but I'm working in a company as an engineer. Maybe I'm doing engineering function. Do I qualify as an engineer in express entry? No. So to qualify for points on experience as an engineer, I need to have an engineering qualification. So always you have to go to the NOC in Service Canada, look at what the requirement is, see if they match up. Otherwise, you cannot take the points on experience.
The next question is from Mr. Singh.
Yes.
He is working for an American company, but the back office is in Pune.
Okay.
Can he claim points for that?
Of course. The Canadian government does not discriminate on what is the nature of the employer, whether it's American employer, Indian employer, or Bangladeshi employer, or Pakistani employer. Who cares? As long as the employer is valid and genuine and the experience is verifiable, you will get the points. There's no difference in points whether you are working for an American company in America or American company in Pune. There's no difference in the points the way you get. The points are the same. I know some examples where somebody was working for his uncle in a like a home office, like a home, uncle was running a business, doing some technical services from his home, and his nephew was working under him, and he got the points for experience. So it doesn't matter whether you're working for a big company or a small company or American company or Indian company. Experience is experience is experience, nothing more.
Not the other way around.
Yes.
This company or Canadian company which was in India.
Yes.
Will he claim points for Canadian?
No. For Canadian experience class, you need to be working in Canada, not the Canadian company in India.
The next question is from Sushma Singh.
Yes.
Are there any help desks for newly landed migrants at the airport in Canada?
Are there any health risks?
Help desk.
Oh, help desk. Yes, of course, there are a lot of help desks. What kind of help are you looking to get? I don't understand. Is there some help desk on how to navigate the system, or how to get the landing done, or how to take a taxi, how to go to get a job or something? When you land in Canada on a PR, you are in every city there are settlement agencies which help new immigrants how to do certain things, how to find a job, how to find housing, how to get your children to school, how to apply for jobs. There are a lot of help sources available. These are called settlement agencies. If you type on Google settlement agencies, you will be able to see many, in your city where you're going.
The next question is from Swati.
Yes.
If we completed 5 years in Canada and can't apply for citizenship, can we extend the visa for how long?
That's good. So it is not mandatory. If you get a PR card, your PR card is valid for 5 years. After 3 years of living there on a PR, you can apply for Canadian citizenship. But if you don't want Canadian citizenship, you don't have to apply. You can renew your PR card after the 5th year, again for the next 5 years. So it will keep on repeating. There are a lot of senior people like from India who are 70 years, 80 years, or 90, not like 90, 70, 80 years in India, like grandfathers, grandmothers who are living in Canada, but they have Indian passports. And even though they have been living there for 10, 20 years, but they never want to become Canadian citizens because they like Indian Republic, the Indian passport, Indian passport. And they say no matter whether we live, we will remain Indian, we will die Indian, we will always have Indian passport. So they never apply for Canadian citizenship, and then they will renew their PR card after every 5 years. You get 5 years, 5 years, 5 years, 5 years. Keep going.
Jalen has asked a question.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
I completed civil engineering in 2016.
Yes.
I have 1 year experience. Can I apply for post-graduation study visa?
Of course. So this question is essentially about to qualify for a study visa. So the study, anybody can be a student in Canada. The age is not a criteria. If you can satisfy the visa officer that your study is genuine, and then your study plans are bona fide, you have the money, you will actually go and study. You're not trying to masquerade as a student, whether you are looking for a job perhaps. You will get the visa, no problem at all. Study visa is good.
The second part of the question.
Yes.
What are the chances of getting a PR after studies in Canada?
Good question. I congratulate you for this question. All students, do you know how many students from India go to Canada every year? Close to 65 to 70,000 students every year go from India to Canada. In total, about 300,000, 3 lakh students are coming from all over the world and India is the top, by the way, right? So they are coming to Canada. Students have a great qualifying factor for PR. Once you are a student, the number one benefit is you can start working 20 hours a week, outside the campus, and in the campus you can work unlimited number of hours. If you are married, you are taking your wife with you, and the wife can work full time. After you graduate, after you finish the 2-year diploma or your degree, you will get a 3-year work permit. That means you can work anywhere. After you complete 1 year of work experience in that period of time, then you will apply under Canadian experience class. You will get additional points, so you'll be a winner. So I always recommend anybody who is falling short of points, who does not have a points, you can always, if you don't mind, you can study something in Canada, and that's a good way to look for future PR after the studies. Yes, sir.
At the time of citizenship application, it is mandatory to show last year tax document.
At the time of Canadian citizenship application, of course. So I think this is an advanced question because most people don't even have a visa yet. They're not thinking of Canadian citizenship for so far. My friend is asking a question on when we apply for Canadian citizenship, what documents do we have to show? Do we have to have a tax documents or not? It used to be that the law just got changed just about 2 weeks ago. I mean, sorry, 2 months ago. And at that time, the filing of taxes was mandatory. But right now, the tax and filing is not mandatory. That means even if you are not working, all right, so nonetheless, you can still apply for the Canadian citizenship. But you have to prove that you were living in Canada for the 3 years. That means, so let's say today is 2017 November, and I get the PR, I land in Canada today, and I have to live there from 2018, 19, 20 till 2020 November. I have to live there continuously, or maybe within breaks. But I have to have 3 years of the time, which is about, if you multiply 365 multiply by 3 is about 1095 days. So I need to have 1095 days in Canada to be able to apply for citizenship. And if I'm living in Canada for 3 years, I better be working. I cannot be unemployed, right? So I must have some income or must have filed some tax. Everybody, by the way, everybody files for income tax in Canada, not like India. I'm saying that, but filing for income tax is very, very routine and very mandatory. So hopefully that answers your question. Who else?
Question.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Now, we heard that your first port of entry cannot be Quebec unless you have a certificate from Quebec, a certification from Quebec.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what if somebody is already working in Quebec, and if she has got her PR?
Under what category?
She's working under a work permit, but she doesn't have a certification from Quebec.
Yeah, under what category?
Express entry.
Okay, here's something, and I want to repeat it to people listening here. If you are working, the express entry is for people who are looking to live outside Quebec. Express entry, if you go to Express Entry website, Express Entry is designed to select people who want to make their home outside Quebec. People who are looking to be inside Quebec, they don't choose Express Entry, they choose CSQ. So if that person is already under work permit in Quebec, it is very unlikely that he will get the express. He will not get the express entry. You better be make sure that is the fact or not.
The person has got the visa.
Under what category?
Express entry.
Well, in that case, the employer must not be in Quebec. The employer must be based outside Quebec. Check again. The employer, or maybe he has a second home outside, or maybe he had said on the, once you fill up the forms on the 0008, they ask you where is your intended province. Did he say Quebec, or he must have said something else? It's very possible.
He said Ontario.
He said Ontario.
At the port of entry, the immigration officer is not taking a Quebec address. The immigration officer is asking an address outside Quebec.
Absolutely. So that reinforces my theory. That validates what I was saying, because now the immigration officer is suspicious. If you have got the visa under express entry, how do you have a home in Quebec, right? How do you have an address in Quebec that you're showing? So that makes me suspicious. And it's very possible. Has he got the landed yet? He's got land. He's got the.
He knows that. She knows that.
No, has he been landed? Has he got the stamp that? Okay, so that's what I was thinking, that may happen, and it's very possible that his express entry application and the visa will be invalidated, and he will be back again in Pune very soon, unless it is challenged.
They have started some pilot project in which the landing happens through the immigration happens through phone call and then you go and go with the passport and COPR and they get stamped.
The problem.
She has been selected for that. She had a telephonic interview for the immigration.
Okay.
So she went to submit her passport and the COPR. They did not accept that.
The problem is not at what port of entry that you will land and get the stamp. That's not the problem. The problem is under what stream are you applying and what stream you're trying to become a PR. If I am trying to live in Ontario, as this person has said, that I want to, my home is in Ontario, even though temporarily maybe there's a branch office in Montreal or Quebec City or somewhere I'm working, that doesn't matter. But if I've chosen express entry and I've chosen Ontario as my permanent home base, then that's how there's no need of a CSQ. Then there's no need of showing as a Quebec, and vice versa. Because I had a case like this. Let me just briefly tell you about a case. I had a case where this case was in Hong Kong. There was a software engineer in Hong Kong who got a job from a Montreal company. This company is called IATA, IATA agency, which is travel. Their headquarters is in Montreal, and he got a very high-paying job offer to work in Montreal. Now, Montreal is in Quebec, and this company is in Quebec. So that means the job offer was for, I think, 2 years. So for 2 years, he would have been required to stay in Quebec. And now if he's looking to apply under express entry, sorry, he cannot qualify under express. He cannot get the benefit of the experience under express entry. So he has to apply under CSQ. And CSQ also has a quota system, which I don't know what is the quota system and how long is it taking now. But under express entry, if he had this job offer, which was paying about $150,000 and above, as soon as he had a job offer, he would have got the benefit of 200 points under arranged employment offer, and he would have been nominated within 1 or 2 months. So now you see the difference. Under express entry, if this job would have been in Ontario, he would have got the PR quite soon, within 6 to 8 months. But in Quebec, he has to go to CSQ, which may take about 2 years plus, or who knows. And not to mention that to be able to first apply for under Quebec experience class, he had to work in Quebec now for, I think, initially 9 months or 12 months before he can apply under that category. So that derails the whole plan. So he had to withdraw. Actually, he got the points in express entry, but he had to give up the job offer. He said, "No, I don't want the job," and then he came out, and then he's applying again express. So this is always the little loophole. But I would be more interested to look at his case individually and find out what happens. All right, who else is asking questions?
There's a question from Dinesh Chen. If a person wants to apply an individual PR for himself,
Yes.
or he has some major medical problem
Oh.
to his child, can he apply?
We get a lot of such questions.
Okay,
child has autism or
yes,
diseases.
I will mention in briefly what is the policy on medical issues. All applications for PR, whether they are going to family sponsorship or they're going to express entry or work permit, or even students, actually, I would say, everybody has to have a medical examination. If you have a medical problem, like a long-term medical problem, like you mentioned autism, it could be autism, it could be tuberculosis, it could be dialysis. I've had some people who had long-term diabetes, diabetes that cannot be solved. I had a person calling me a few days ago who had cancer, tumor, which is not going away very soon. If there are some serious medical issues, what will happen is that person will likely become medically inadmissible, because under one of the clauses in section 38, if the treatment is very expensive, and there's a formula that we have, if the treatment is far more expensive than, because medical treatment is free in Canada, right? So all citizens get medical free, but there's a limit beyond which they know that the cost is approximately around $6,600, 66 something. So if you are applying as a foreign applicant in express entry, and if you have a serious disease like long-term diabetes, and if you need insulin and other treatments and other things, if the medical doctor here, who does the medical here in India, if they determine that your cost is more than average, then you will be medically inadmissible. All right, so this is what will happen in this autism case. So my advice is that before you do any application for express entry, maybe you should go and see the doctor first, right? Instead of waiting all, spending money and doing English and other things and waiting for next year. I think you should do the medical examination first. Go to the Canadian doctor in your city if you have and there are some in Pune, I think. Yeah, go to the medical doctor and say, look, can you give me a little private consultation? Just check me out and see, I have autism, and what do you think? Just get his opinion and get a feel of whether it's going to happen, and then you know what's going to happen. You don't want to be shocked after 1 year saying, sorry, you got enough points, you got 435 points, you got the invitation, and sorry, you have autism now, bye bye. So you don't want to do that. Yes.
There's the next question. The applicant is a data analyst with 2.5 years of experience, and with the IELTS his score is 395. He's asking what are the PNP possibilities, and does data analyst is considered as a special skill in Canada?
It is not a special skill in Canada. I don't know about data analyst per se, but IT, if it is related to IT, it perhaps will be. But as far as PNP is concerned, you have to keep monitoring their website and see, whenever they are choosing you on them. Sometimes they choose. I'm not very fond of these PNP provinces. Sometimes they pick and choose at random. So keep your express entry profile ready, keep your documents ready. As soon as you see something in SINP, maybe Manitoba, maybe Nova Scotia, you just upload your documents, and then it's more or less like a lottery system, I would say. All right, so there's no guarantee that you'll get.
The next question is from Barjinder Kaur.
Yes.
She has done hotel management from Singapore, wherein her total experience is 6 years, 2 years in Singapore and 4 years in India. Is she eligible for Canada PR?
Yeah, what I said earlier, we don't care what the experience is from, whether it's Singapore or India. Experience is experience. As long as you can verify, it's good experience. Everybody, like as you know, everybody who's under express entry applicant, they have to check the points. So first we have to look at the 67 points, and then after we have 67 crossover, then we have to look at how much is the comprehensive ranking points. So if you have more than 420, 430 points, then you have some hope, you have a good profile. Many people, struggle at 370, 360, right? Maybe 80 or so, and there's a big gap between 380 and 440. Is like 60 points. There's nothing we can do about it other than, just learn more English and learn some French. I'm a great passionate believer in French. Anybody who has little skills in some language, I think you should start learning French. It will help you in PR. Also, when you go to Canada, it will help you getting a job. Plus, you can even work for the government. Most government departments, they take bilingual workers, and you'll be able to easily get any job. So if you are stuck, if you already have a master's degree, if you're already overage, if your English is tough, if there's nothing else you can do, I would recommend for 6 months just study French and then take a French language test. Yes.
The next question is from Anuswa. Once entered in Canada, how much money is sufficient to survive without job?
It all depends, Anikwa. It depends what is your expenses. I would say typically in a small city, if you are living with your husband, wife, and 2 children, you need about $3,000 to $4,000 a month. All right, $3,000 to $4,000 a month is needed for husband, wife, and 2 children. So that's what's the answer to Anikwa. So we have another 10 to 15 more minutes. I think we will wrap in about 15 minutes. So keep your questions coming. So 15 minutes, and then we will talk on the special topic maybe perhaps tomorrow. So 15 more minutes. Rinki Ghosh, waiting for an answer. Rinki Ghosh, I don't know what your question is. Rohit Rai, so I answer. You should call that number and ask this question. I don't know what your question is.
My question,
Yes.
now the new Columbia pilot program
Yes.
that is come out, there they say that a EMA certificate is not required.
Yes.
However, there is another section that says that your employer should be, qualified.
Yes. So what they're talking about is LMIA is a specific requirement for anybody to hire a foreigner. So that is the LMIA. But this BC High-Tech Pilot Pro project is for people, is for employers who are already recognized by the BC government that they genuinely have a need of hiring some tech, like they are software companies, or maybe they are medical research companies, they are technological companies. So for them, LMIA is not required because they have already been recognized by the BC government that they operate in high-tech sector.
Applicant is mandatory to job offer.
Of course, of course.
But many times we get the job offers from companies, but how do we know it is a real or fake one? Most of the time I ask me that question.
I think let me just repeat. This is a very important question somebody's asking me in this hall. When anybody gets a job offer, how do you know this is a real job offer, this is a fake job offer? I have made some videos about this many times, and I just want to repeat my observation about a real job offer or a fake job offer. If somebody comes to me, if I'm living in Pune, if somebody comes to me and saying, look, I have this job offer, pay this money, and then you will get a work visa. As soon as somebody says to me, pay this money, I know it's a fake job offer. Because real employers, they never ask for money. That's number one criteria. Number two, I need to know who is offering the job. Is there a middle person, a consultant, a broker, or a friend, or somebody who's making this job offer? If the employer himself is not making the job offer, then I know it's a fake job offer. Number three criteria. Once a job offer is made, I will ask the employer, can you show me the job? Can I read the job? Can I read the job description? And perhaps there's a LMIE approval. So I will check and read both of them, and I'll find out whether the job offer is credible. For example, I saw, and I posted on my Facebook many times, somebody in India gets a job offer working in a McDonald's, like McDonald's, the fast food. And the job offer said that you will get a salary of $5,000 a month plus a house or maybe a car to go there or some other benefits. And I started laughing and looking at the job offer, and I told them, look, you must be naive to believe that you will get $5,000 in this job. Because if you just go to Google and type some jobs in McDonald's in Toronto, Vancouver, you will see they hardly get $11 or $10, not more than $12. If you just do the math for 40 hours a week, you will hardly make $2,000. How can somebody offer you $5,000 when publicly what Canadian citizens are doing this job, they can hardly make more than $2,000. So when the job offer looks very nice, very, very high salary, it's a clear sign that it's a fake job offer. I hope that answers many of your questions.
The next question is from
We got 10 more minutes, right? So we got, okay. Yes, go ahead.
For applying citizenship, is it mandatory to appear in IELTS exam?
For Canadian citizenship, yes. For when you apply for Canadian citizenship, English language proof, proficiency proof is required. IELTS is one of them. If you have studied in Canada, that's also accepted as one of the proofs. If you have IELTS score from the time where you have applied for, I think if your IELTS score is valid from the time you applied from Express Entry, so that also can be taken in. But you have to prove, you can also take some local test in Canada to show English beside IELTS also, which is like a CLB assessment test. So I mean, some kind of English language proof is required.
What is required? What is the minimum required score?
I don't know right now. I think it's very basic. It's not 6. It's 5 or something. It's less than 6.
There's a question. I have applied for my visa. My medical was done around 15th of September. I expect my IELTS is expiring in Jan 18. I am yet to receive a visa. Should I give IELTS again?
There's no need to give IELTS again. If the ITA has already been, if you have already submitted your documents after post ITA, there's no need now to take IELTS again. Rinki Ghosh, we have answered the question, Ghosh. Yes, I think Web of Meta, WS, okay. Sushma Singh, currently imagine how many days a person is eligible for benefits. Oh, we have already answered the question. Sushma Singh, you are looking for benefits in Canada while sitting in India. Congratulations. Gunjan Gupta, 2 years French language, 3 years mediation points. Gunjan Gupta is not only the French course, but you have to take the French language test, which is called Test Evaluation de Français, TEF. You have to take the score, and then you get the points on French. All right, Gunjan Gupta, who else is Weber Meta?
If I get a dental problem, is it covered or
to pay? That's a wonderful question. Somebody's asking me. I think who's asking this question? Swati, your dental problems stay in India. They don't go to Canada because I think you have been coached or you've been talking to somebody in Canada. Dental problems, teeth, they are not covered and they are not free in Canada. So teeth and eyes, teeth and eye vision, they are not covered. Rest, everything is covered. I think so. Somebody is telling you some secrets. So make sure when you go to Canada from there, get your teeth checked from local dentists here.
Will WS consider 1 year masters after BCA as for 22 points, or does one need to have a 2-year postgraduate program to be eligible for 22 points?
A master degree is a master degree. It does not matter. If it has been adjusted as a master degree, you will get 23 points. So
this is talking about 22.
No, not 22. So master degree get 23.
He has a 1 year masters.
Yes.
After a 3-year bachelor's.
That's what I'm saying. So it all depends on. I know if you have been in UK, some UK universities offer 1 year master's degree. Have you heard?
Yes.
1 year MSc in management or 1 year master's. I mean, that's like master's degree. So if it has been adjusted as a master's by WS, doesn't matter which university, you will get 23 points, not 22. I have seen the other way around actually. I have seen in some universities in India where people have 2-year master's degree and the WS says, no, it's not master's, it's bachelor's. And then you go down. So it's not the question of 2 year or 1 year. It's the question of what is the quality of the master's degree and the university. That's what is important.
What is the name of the French exam one needs to appear for express entry?
Yeah, it's called TEF. If you go to Google and type T as Tom, E as English, F as France. TEF, if you type, you will see.
Test Evaluation de Français.
Test Evaluation de Français. Yes.
Now, suppose somebody is already in Canada.
Yes.
Proof of fund is not required. The WS is not required. Is it that the job description on the letterhead is also not required? If he does not submit that, will the application be incomplete?
The application is always incomplete if the experience is not descriptive enough to show what experience he's claiming points on. Even if he's working in Canada, does not matter. Does not matter. So guys, we're going to take another 1 or 2 questions and then we'll wrap up and then.
Provinces and territories use the express entry system?
That's a wonderful question. I think that's the cream of the questions for today. Most provinces have a signed agreement with the Canadian federal government to choose applicants who want to live in their provinces. I'll give you 1 or 2 examples and then you'll come to know. Alberta, which is my province, they want people who are engineers working in petroleum and oil drilling because we have a petroleum and oil drilling industry. So Alberta wants to get technical people in the pool of express entry. So they go to the federal government and say, look, we want to nominate some people in your express entry pool so that we can select these people who want to make Alberta as a home. And similarly, other provinces, they do that. Like Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island and New Brunswick and Finland, they need people who are working more or less on the fishing industry, on the tourism industry and other water-based maritime industry. So they select people who are, geared towards running the businesses and working there. So each provinces select people based on what the requirements are, and that's how they nominate people to live in that thing. Like Quebec. Quebec wants people who primarily speak French, and that's how they will go to Francophone people, select them and invite them to go and live in Quebec. So each province has a certain quota, and it's an annual quota, and that's how they choose people to send and to the respective provinces. All right, so one follow-up question, yes.
For citizenship, does the person give academic ideas or general?
For citizenship, general, same general. All right, so guys, thank you very much for people who are still logged on and enjoying my stuff here. The number to call is if you want to talk to me today or tomorrow. I'm here for 2-3 days. 1-800-102-4150. That's the number to call, and you'll be connected to our reception here, and then you can follow up the question. And there's another number which is not a toll-free number, which is 91, which is area code for India, 805-580-4150. So you can use one of these two numbers to call, and the website is always apexvisas.com. Apex is APEX, visas, VISAS.com, and that's the website to follow up and send inquiry, register, send email and stuff. So another 2-3 days, keep sending all your questions. If somebody has some certain complex problem for which they cannot find a solution, and if you have time to call in or maybe come and meet me here, then maybe I can help them personally. All right. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.